What's up? It's time for TV Talk. Watchmen. My name's Luke. That's Mr. Tyler.
And this is Mr. Brett.
You have so much more energy now.
I'm faking it.
I love it.
Fake it till you make it. I just want to...
faking it.
I'll apologize in advance if I cough. It's kind of going to be my thing tonight. I'm sick, a little under the weather, so sorry.
Which is why you weren't with us last week.
Yeah, which is why I missed last week's TV Talk. So hopefully
But you couldn't miss 2 in a row.
But I will say, I really enjoyed episode 2.
Yeah.
I thought it was really good. But I'm not here to talk about that. I'm here to talk about episode 3.
Yeah. First off, another great title. I gotta mention it every week.
Yeah, the titles have been so awesome.
Yeah. She was killed by space junk.
Yeah.
Love it.
The whole time I was waiting for space junk to kill someone.
It almost did.
I know, almost. So close.
If you don't know, this is our kind of spoiler deep dive into each episode of a TV show. Right now we're going through Watchmen. So, spoilers ahead. Beware.
You've been warned.
You've been warned.
Yep.
What do we start with? Our new character, maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lori Blake, Silk Spectre 2 showed up, and she's an FBI agent. She's
anti-vigilante.
Yeah.
Very.
That opening bank robbery scene.
The bank heist, or yeah.
The obvious
really cool.
The obvious knock on Batman.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really fun.
Mr. Shadow.
Yeah. Well, I remember seeing after the second episode they had like the snippet for next week, and like it showed him jumping down from that little balcony. I was like, is that Batman?
I figured it's more American Hero Story.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well, even before the scene they showed the taxi thing and kind of make you think like it's a continuation.
Yeah.
Which we didn't get any more American Hero Story this week.
This episode was heavily focused on the new character.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you could learn a lot about her. And they really don't hold back in telling you who she was, which I really appreciated.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, she's used to be a vigilante. She used to date/bang Dr. Manhattan. And she kind of has a grudge against everybody.
Yeah.
She just kind of seems mad at the world.
Yeah.
I like that they did that though. They're like, yes, this is her, but we're not just gonna come and flat out be like, yeah, her last name is Jupiter and she's the Silk Spectre until the end, obviously.
Yeah.
But I really appreciated the way they kind of introduced her and like moved her into where she fits on the show. I thought they did a really good job of writing her in pretty organically.
Yeah.
It didn't feel like it was hey, it's Silk Spectre. We're putting her in because of that.
They didn't do member berries. Remember this character from Watchmen?
Yeah.
Goodness, remember this character?
They did a really good job of making her fit the narrative they're telling.
Yeah.
But also not completely tarnishing the character she once was.
Yeah.
So that was really good and really well done.
And then she has that intro bank heist scene, and we kind of learn a bit about her. She's a tough gal.
Yeah.
But I felt like you learn a lot about her at the funeral scene for Judd.
Yeah.
She doesn't really play around.
Oh my god.
She's a very straight shooter, quite literally.
Yeah.
She had her agenda. She knew what she was there for, and she was going to get the answer she wanted one way or the other. And that's exciting to see in a show like this where there's a lot going on, and I feel like she's going to be the vehicle who gets us to where we're going to find out everything.
She is especially seems to be that character who's come in and kind of knows everything. And all the things we already know as the audience, at least.
Yeah.
And you have this idea that maybe people are a little more secret and like kind of under the radar. And for most people, they are, but she comes in and just like, oh, hey, I'm looking for Looking Glass.
Yeah.
Where is he? He's in
AKA
this room? Okay.
Tim Blake Nelson's name. I don't remember his name.
Mom.
Mom.
Sorry. I will forever call him Mom.
But yeah, the funeral scene specifically, I thought was really well done, really well paced. It kind of has a slow build. There's a little bit of tension between her and some of the other characters at the beginning of it. Then all of a sudden, there's a suicide bomber there, and you think that this tension is going to get drawn out, and it is immediately subverted because of her, her deciding to just
pop the dude in the face.
pull the trigger.
I thought he was bluffing.
Yeah. And thank God for
A time delayed heart sensor thing.
right.
Like, oh good, we have time to get this underneath of the casket.
We gotta drag him over.
Yeah.
And
Toss him in.
how like perfect of her to suspect, like, oh, you would blow up the body.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, oh man, I didn't even think about that when it was going on, but
Mm-hmm.
she was like, yeah, that's kind of convenient.
Definitely sets up
And you're
some
like,
future conflict there.
Yep.
And for Sister Knight, she's not thinking to blow up Judge. She's thinking to save as many people as possible.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And she's still wrong on the account of Lori Blake.
Yeah.
So it's pretty interesting to see where this relationship goes between the two.
Not that Sister Knight is really being truthful.
No.
I mean, she knows that there's a clan hood
Yeah.
inside of his closet. She's hiding it. She doesn't tell Lori about Wheelchair Man getting taken away by a car.
By the aliens.
Yeah, what the heck? Like, she's not leading, like, giving her anything that she's found out.
Mm-hmm.
She's not giving it to anyone.
Nope.
She's keeping it close to the vest.
Yep.
Which is obviously, because we've seen this a million times in other things, is going to come back and bite her in the end.
Yeah, it is.
And I think it's going to be through the route of her family, right? That's where it's going to hit her somehow.
Yep. That was kind of one thing. I was sad about this episode. That was the only scene I feel like where Sister Knight did anything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, for the most part, she was so sidelined, and it made me sad because Regina King is so good.
Yeah.
She's
I love
incredible.
her character.
Yeah, she's incredible.
And to see her sideline was just like, it's kind of a bummer. But we did get Lori Blake, which was really cool. She's an awesome character also.
Mm-hmm. I liked her phone call to Dr. Manhattan, her joke that, starts near the beginning of the
It's the opening
episode.
scene, isn't it?
Is it the opening?
I believe the opening scene is her walking into the booth.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And just that, very clearly, it's about so much more than just the joke.
I felt like it's set up kind of in a way where we're going, but also kind of revealed what happened in the past.
Yeah. Well, it provides us a good landing page for where she's at in, like, her emotions and feelings towards these other different characters, and why she's motivated to do what she does in the way that she does it.
Yeah.
Did anybody think that at the end of the joke that she was going to get to Manhattan's character and she's going to be like, and God snaps and nothing happens, Manhattan snaps and God disappears?
Oh,
I for sure that was going to be the joke.
That would have been clever.
But I loved the twist of, like, no, I'm the girl who threw the brick. And I was like, oh, bam, got that mofo, man. Yeah, got him, fucking Manhattan.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of pent-up anger towards him.
Yeah.
And in his abandonment.
She still has that attachment.
Yeah, she still feels like she needs to talk to him on
Yeah.
I assume,
She can't
daily
really let him
basis.
go.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I wanted to mention an Easter egg. I imagine I'm not the only one who caught this here, but the Black Freighter Inn and Suites.
Yep.
And I was like, that's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad that's been mentioned now.
Yep.
So.
And then a really cool shot that I liked, just real quick. It was super obvious. It shows the 4 players of I don't remember what they're called, the Minutemen that she was involved in, and her face blocks out the 4th character because it's her.
Yeah.
And I just thought it was really cool. And then later it kind of pans over and you see the Silk Spectre 2 and it's the same face. It's like, yeah, dope. Really like that. So we got another strange scene with Mr. Vite.
Oh, yes.
We learned a little bit more about Mr. Vite as well.
Oh, we learned a lot more.
Well, look, the interesting thing I think that they mention, and it's almost mentioned in passing, is that he had plastic surgery.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, what I took from that is, like, maybe he's not as old as he looks.
Mm.
Like, how mobile is he still? Like,
yeah.
how... Because, obviously, we know from the comic book in the past, he's a superhero, quote unquote, right? So, I just wonder how, like... Can he still do superhero things? Or, is he just an old guy?
Can he still punch people?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
I was kind of wondering that too. I mean, he's out riding horseback, dead-eyeing buffalo.
Oh my gosh! Like
Literally in the eye.
literally in
Yeah.
the eye.
He's building stuff.
Yeah.
Spacesuits. I guess.
That was the other real interesting thing.
I was wondering if, like, he's trying to tell...
Is he
teleport
trying
out
to
there.
get to Mars?
Oh...
That's what I think he's doing. I think he's trying to get to Mars.
To meet with Manhattan?
Yes.
Okay, I just maybe thought he was teleporting because he was in prison.
No, I think he's trying to get to Dr. Manhattan.
Okay.
Because, I mean, he has the play in episode 2.
Mm-hmm.
And
He's obsessed with him, maybe?
he's obsessed with it. And I think he's just trying to get there. And he's using these clone servant people that he's got with him. I don't really know what they are. To test him, because he's just like, I'll just make a new one.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
fodder for him.
Right.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
I was just kind of thinking, because, like, Lone Ranger shows up, and he's like, nope, you can't go past that flag you
Right.
went by.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, they're keeping him here. He's in, like, under house arrest, kind of.
That was like the agreement, I think is what they said, is like you agreed you'd live here and you wouldn't bother anything or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
So he's obviously like in isolation
Yeah.
because he's a douche.
Maybe he got a little cabin fever going on.
Yeah.
Yes, more cabin fever.
We do love our cabin fever here at What the Fanboy.
Yes,
Yeah.
we do.
And we got the big reveal, like, we kind of we knew who he was, but when he's typing
Signing
the
off
letter,
the letter.
it's yours truly, Adrian Veidt. It's like, oh,
And
but then they just freaking layer it on. Give him the classic Ozymandias suit.
Mm-hmm.
Did not think I would ever see that suit in live action.
Yeah.
Like,
They went for it.
they really went for it. I thought it looked really cool.
Yeah.
In
Minus-
a weird way.
Minus the eye mask.
Yeah, you could tell that it was maybe a little, like, it was clearly old, didn't quite fit him quite as well.
It looked like
but,
it was from 1985.
yeah. But
No,
yeah.
it was cool to see that, and it's again really interesting to see like what his plan is because they're not really giving you much. You know, like just piecing it together. Yeah, he obviously has an obsession,
Yeah.
and he's trying to get there somehow. It'll be cool to see this develop, and I think he leaves now, like pretty soon.
Yeah.
I think he joins the rest of the cast in some form or fashion.
Yeah. He's got to. I mean, it's
I,
something,
yeah,
right?
I think that probably will happen. How many episodes is this? Is this a 10 episode?
I'm assuming 10 because it's HBO, but I don't know.
Yeah, my guess is.
My prediction was 7 or 8.
I think it's got to happen either like episode 4 or 5 is when he gets out.
Yeah.
It's when when he escapes.
When do you think we'll see Dr. Manhattan?
in 2 weeks.
2 episodes from now?
Yeah.
Yeah. My guess would be maybe the penultimate.
That's probably a good guess.
When we've really reached ahead on the conflict.
Yeah.
Which is, we didn't get much of, other than the bomber. We didn't really get much of the Rorschach
We're
mask.
still getting more questions raised than answered,
Yes.
Which-
which is fine for now.
I think if they do 8, episode 4 will be that swing to where we start to get some answers.
Yeah.
Another scene I really liked, we got more action in the pod.
Yep.
With Tim Blake, with Mom.
Yeah, with Mom and Looking Glass.
That was really cool, and it showed off Lori's own abilities. Like she's a smart gal.
Mm-hmm.
She's a smart gal.
It was really cool.
I love how protective of the remote he is.
Yeah.
In that scene, he's like, "Can I have that back, please?" And he like puts it in his pocket. Now, what do you want?
Any scene with him is just
He's good,
it's just
man.
a joy to watch him work. He doesn't even he pulls up his mask this time, but like I love how he doesn't even need to pull up his mask, where he can just pull it up halfway and you can still get a full dialogue scene out of him and just be blown away.
by
It gives me
yeah.
like the Hugo Weaving effect.
Yeah.
V for Vendetta.
Yeah.
Dude shows no facial emotion, but you can just feel and hear it.
Yeah.
It's just really well done.
Yeah, he's awesome. He's probably been like the sleeper character for a favorite. Like anytime he's in a scene, he's kind of stolen it.
Yep.
So I look forward to more from him.
Yeah, I really hope we start to lean back into the Sister Night Tulsa crew.
Yeah.
In the next episode.
Yeah, the show is at its best when the Tulsa crew is at the forefront, I think.
Yeah.
Although I do really like Lori. What I like about Watchmen is they're distancing themselves from the previous story and starting a new one. So when we go back, obviously it's only been one episode, but when we go back, it's like, okay, like we've had these characters before. We've heard this story. Let's keep working with these new people. Let's figure out what's going on in Tulsa.
Yeah, I think in the overall season, we'll probably look back and be like, okay, that one episode didn't feel too bad. Right now, when it's a third of what we've gotten, it does feel a little bit like, oh, we were just kind of building to something, and then we kind of like hit pause. But my guess is now that she's there,
She'll just be a part of it.
Be a part of the
I agree.
That thread, that story thread.
Last week, I mentioned that I was alluding between the comic and the comparisons of what the show is doing, about how somebody was murdered, we're investigating it, find a secret clothing in the closet with a switch. I talked about that last week, and I thought it was really cool how Lori, she asked Sister Night, she's like, find anything in the closet? You don't look like a person that would faint. She's like, why would I look in the closet? She's like, well, my dad died, and they found something in his closet.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah. Yes.
Do you guys have any hot takes from this episode or predictions for what we're getting next week?
To me, at this moment, this show is honestly so unpredictable. I just don't know.
I think the unpredictability is what makes you like really look forward to it week to week. I think, like, it's funny. Like before the show started, we had all kind of talked, and I was like, man, I really just don't know what to expect from this show. And we're now 3 episodes in, and I'm still like, I don't know what to expect. And I enjoy that.
Yeah.
I don't want to always be able to read the writing on the wall and know what's coming around every corner. Like, I enjoy that I don't know what to expect from this show, and I think that's a sign of good writing, in my opinion. Because if you can write something where people are like, yeah, I don't know what's going on that much, but it's still good.
Yeah. But you're still drawn back to it.
Yeah, you still look forward to it. Like, I got a text before the episode started, like, it's Watchmen time, baby, from a friend of mine, and I was like, man, like, this is somebody who wasn't going to watch the show.
Yeah.
And now they're watching it, like, 8 o'clock hits, and they're like, yeah, it's time to watch it. Like, that's a sign of a well-written and well-made show, and I don't know. I don't need to know what to expect, I guess.
Yeah.
I expect, if I was guessing, we'll get more back into the Sister Night stuff. Kind of what's going on with her secret. Now that the car is back, like the car fell out of space, we know who helped now, the old guy. Or we have an idea of who helped, considering Lori's reaction to the little orange flicker in the sky.
Right.
At least I assume Dr. Manhattan helped.
I did too.
So I think she's going to be like, what is this car? Who do these tags belong to?
Sister Night's going to be like...
Yeah, and so like I think we get more into the Lori Sister Night, like, are they going to be enemies or are they going to be friends?
Yeah.
And I think that's what we'll find out next week.
They're going to be frenemies.
Yay. I guess here's a possible hot take that I just kind of thought of. So in the original comic, it's Ozymandias' Vite's plan all along. And actually just read this part today because I'm rereading it. He sends an assassin to go after him. What if the senator sent the bomber to go after him?
Oh.
Kind of in a way. Because there seems to be so many similarities.
Oh, the senator's absolutely in it with the cavalry.
Yeah.
I would agree with that.
I guess so. It's not a hot take then, but...
No, I hadn't thought of it, but I agree.
But no, and it's, well, you saying that and like the similarities, it's evidenced by the closet thing. Like there's going to be little holdover things like that. Sorry, I didn't mean to
little crossover. No, dude, you're good. Yeah.
shoot down your plane there.
There's my hot take. Senator's bad boy.
Bad boy number 1.
He's part of the huge conspiracy that's at play.
He's bad racist man number 1, Mr. Senator.
Well, he has that southern draw, so you know he's a bad guy. That's kind of the
Does that
route.
mean Mom's bad?
Maybe.
Oh, darn it.
I don't want him to be, but I'd be down to watch him and Sister Night throw fists at each other for a little bit.
Ooh.
That made me so sad. Cause maybe he'd be a bad guy. So
My last question is, what do you guys think of Red Scare and his whole role? Because I don't really understand where he fits.
him and other girl,
The mask, that like the fishnet mask
yeah,
thing?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like just don't have a lot of play yet.
Yeah.
I don't know if that will increase or if they're just gonna die eventually.
I just kind of feel like they're more characters. Like, yeah, these guys are Watchmen characters.
There's
think
other
they-
detectives in Tulsa besides just Sister
They
Night
help.
and
They help
Looking Glass.
fill out the world a little bit.
Yeah.
But I would agree that I've been underwhelmed with what they've been given to do. And when you're balancing as many characters as they are, that's gonna happen sometimes, right? You're gonna get your Rob Starks of the world that have one motivation, and it changes, But
Yeah, and even talking about Game of Thrones, there's some characters in that show that you're like, oh, you probably won't be that important. They're pretty dang important.
Right.
it's true.
So, I mean, you just never know.
Hey, Red Scare could be the one sitting on the Iron Throne at the end of the show for all we know.
And, like, they obviously have a role to play because they show them every episode.
Yeah.
Every episode, they're in a shot doing something.
Yeah.
Always speaking.
We don't know what they're doing, but they're doing something. And he's Russian, so he's probably a bad guy. I'm spitballing here. I don't know.
Yeah. What is the fishnet lady? Pirate Jenny.
Pirate Jenny.
That's a
Love
cool
that.
name. Pirate Jenny, Red Scare, Looking Glass, Sister Night.
Yeah, I think I'm. This was probably as someone who's not as familiar with some of the backstory stuff. I didn't get as much out of it.
Mm-hmm.
I got to learn about these characters now, and it's good character development, but it wasn't as like, oh, I get like,
Yeah, you weren't like
I get who
tearing
that is
everything
now. Like even like Adrian Veidt. I know your name now.
Yeah.
But I
think-
only know kind of his connection because of what we've been talking about, which is why I love doing the show.
Yeah, and I think that's another testament to the show that you're still enjoying it
Yeah.
without
Any
any of
backstory.
the backstory.
Yeah.
Yep. Agreed.
So, any other thoughts, pros or cons that you guys had?
Soundtrack, once again, was good.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Soundtrack's always
The
good.
soundtrack's been awesome for
Yeah.
all 3 episodes.
Oh,
I'm so excited for this to release in volume and listen to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I guess in the meantime, let us know what you guys thought in the comments below about episode 3 or episode 1 or 2. We don't care. We'll talk about anything. But we love to talk about that in the comments with you guys. Like, comment, subscribe. We love all that stuff. Check out our podcast. Goes live on Monday nights at 8.
Here on YouTube.
Here on YouTube. It goes up on podcast apps on Wednesday. Check us out there. Check out our links at whatthefanboy.com if you need to find us. In the meantime, we'll see you guys around.
See you next week.
See ya.